An HR and payroll system is one that allows a user to be able to log in and perform different functions according to what roles have been assigned to that particular user. Ideally, there are three types of users. There is the administrator, who could be, for example, the human resources manager. There could be the HR person, who ideally reports to the human resources manager. And the third one would be an employee, anyone who could be, for example, in marketing, they could be in IT, they could be in operations. Regardless, provided they are an employee, it means that they would have access and they'll be able to log in and perform or have access to information according to the user group. In this case, I'm logged in as an admin. From the dashboard, immediately I'll be able to see the number of employees, the departments that exist in this particular organization, the pending leave requests, if any, and how many times the payroll has been run. On the far left is the menu of what I'm able to access. So there's the dashboard, which is where we are right now. Then I'm able to manage employees. I'm able to create departments, create positions, and manage leave, amongst others. Let me run you through each one of these. I'm so happy to have created this particular system to demonstrate how a human resource information system works. So when I click here on Manage Employees, I'm able to see the list of the employees that are there, their employee numbers, the names, the contact information, department, position, status, and I'm able to perform functions like edit this particular employee, or delete this particular employee. Let's say, for example, this account for Mary Banda may have been created for demonstration purposes. So I'm going to delete this particular record. I'm going to delete it, and there it no longer exists. So today we have received a new employee. Let's call this particular new employee Inonge. Let's call this new employee Inonge. And her last name is Banda. The email address, let's say ibanda at captain37.com, captain37.com, and gender female, date of birth, let's assume this particular person was born in 1992. This person was born in 1992, so I'm simply going to scroll to 1992, which is over here, 1st of January. Let's say they were born on the 1st of January. This is their date of birth. The NRSC, let's assume it's 525252/41/1. And the mobile number, let's say 0966930260. And the residential address, let's say Roma. This person lives in Roma. And the department which they're going to be employed in, they're going to be employed into the marketing department, and their position is that of marketing manager. But let's assume, for example, their position is not there. Say this person is employed as brand and communications officer. Fine, we can still select marketing. The date of hire, let's hire this particular person as today, the 13th of October 2005. So we are going to click here to add the employee. So you see that the number of employees has increased from what it was 3 to now 4. And the fourth person is Inonge. That's what we created, Inonge. And this is their employee number. The system allows the user to be able to create accounts and add employees, new employees, and delete employees. What else can happen? We can add departments. So the business may grow, for example, and we may wish to add an additional department. Let's call this department the communications department. Communications department, you just click add, and there it is added. We now have the communications department. That's something that can be done on this system. Then there is the position. Remember, for Inonge, her actual position is brand and communications manager or brand and communications officer. But that is not on the list here. That is why we assigned the role of manager. So what we need to do is we need to select that it is in the marketing department in which that position was. And we said brand and communications officer. Brand and communications officer. The basic salary, let's put it at 10,000 kwacha. So we add this particular position. So this particular position has now been added. Here it is. The position has now been added. Here it is. And here's the beautiful part about this system. When you click on this particular link where the position is, you click on it, right below, you're able to come up with a job description. Right below, we're able to come up with a job description. I think that's beautiful. And that part can also be saved, or it can be printed, or it can be sent as an email to whomsoever you may wish. So that is part of what this system also does. You can also view the payslip at this particular point, and you are also able to see the basic pay of different positions. The basic pay of different positions. So remember, when we were adding the profile for Inonge, and we can go back here to manage employees, Inonge, we had indicated that her position was marketing manager, which was not correct at the time. We now need to edit it, and we can click right over here, and we can edit this from marketing manager to brand and communications officer, to brand and communications officer, and you can update this particular record as I have indicated. So a human resource information system allows an administrator or a user to perform these functions as I am demonstrating. I am so happy to put this together to demonstrate to persons who may never have dealt with a human resource information system. And as you can see, it does not require one to have 3 years experience or 5 years experience. This is a system that can be taught in 2 days or 3 days, and the next 2 to 3 days someone can practice and they can get a hang of what a human resource information system actually does. So in proceeding, I did demonstrate what can happen under position. There's also a provision to delete a position or edit that particular position. Then there's also the payslip calculator. If you click right over here, you're going to come up with the payslip calculator, and you can select the name of the employee, let's say Inonge, and it automatically populates the title, and the payslip will say, okay, for the month of this month, which is October, the basic pay, you indicate the basic pay, let's say the basic pay is 10,000 kwacha. This calculator automatically will do the maths for you. It will indicate the housing allowance, the transport allowance will be indicated. 200 kwacha is the statutory amount, but if you wish as a business, you can, for example, increase this to 2,000 kwacha or any amount above 200 kwacha. When that happens on this particular system, it's going to highlight. Notice what happens? It turns into green, saying, well done. If, however, you reduce this to, say, 80 kwacha, okay, you reduce this to, for example, 80 kwacha, it's going to turn red, to show you that the amount that's been allocated here is less than what is statutory required. So let's just put it back at 200, what it was. Then that can also happen under lunch allowance, and you can add other allowances, for example, talk time. And then the value allocated towards talk time is 650 kwacha. Okay, 650 kwacha. When that has been done, it's going to give you a preview of what the payslip is going to be. It's going to give you a preview of what the payslip is going to be. I'm happy to take through persons interested on how to get the real correct calculations. These are dummy calculations just for the purposes of showing you how this works. However, they have to be accurate information, and that is something that we can work on. And the payslip can be printed. That is part of what this particular system can do. Then there's also the part where you can process the payroll. The payroll. So for example, the payroll as of October 2025, and we want to process the payroll for John Perry. Okay, John Perry is the human resources officer. We'll click right over here and generate the payroll for John Perry. He's going to get a notification, and you can click here to view the payslip, and he is also going to be able to view the payslip from his end. Then there's also process payroll reports. This is where you get all the information, how much money you've spent in that particular month, how much did you pay out in that particular month. It will show the basic pay, it will also show the net pay, and these can be viewed and edited for each person. Further, the human resource management system allows you to be able to give an employee feedback on their performance, which they'll be able to see from their end. So in this case, again, let's deal with John Perry, and his performance was reviewed when? His performance was reviewed on Friday. And the person who reviewed the performance, let's say it was Milton Banda, and the score is 8. And the comment we say has improved on timekeeping. Okay, has improved on timekeeping. Has improved on timekeeping, and you save this, and once that's been done, John is going to get a notification, and that can be changed here in case there's any need of being able to change that. Then there's also a provision for training, and also there's job descriptions. You can have the job descriptions for each person. Again, when you click on the particular row, Right below, you're able to indicate the summary of the job, the responsibilities, the qualifications, and the skills. And you're able to print that, save it, or send it to someone as an email. And you can also view the payslip. This particular payroll, for demonstration purposes, allows you to do that. And further, even contracts. Contracts, you can create contracts of whomever you so wish. Here, for example, we can say a contract for Inonge Banda. It automatically populates the position. You indicate the start date and you put whatever contractual terms are there. You save that. Then there's going to be a provision for you to email that particular contract, edit it, or indeed view it as a PDF and download it or print it as the action, whatever you may choose to do. And then as an admin, you also have access to user accounts. In this particular case, these are the users. These are the users that can log in. These are the users that can log in. You can delete a user. And earlier I did show you how you add an employee. After you've added the employee, you can add them here as a user. So for example, Inonge. Okay, Inonge, in this particular case, let's say her login details are going to be Inonge. That's the login details. Password will indicate whatever password it's going to be. Okay, whatever password it's going to be will indicate the password, the dummy password, which the person will be able to change with time. So in this case, let's say Zambia as a password. Okay, and then the row, this person is this person an admin, an employee, or someone in HR? This person is an employee. And then we're going to link this particular login details. We're going to link these login details to Inonge Banda. So add. This therefore means that Inonge is now able to log in. Inonge is now able to log in. I'm logged in as an admin. I'm going to log out. And then I'm going to log in as Inonge, right? Inonge is what we indicated. Then we said the password was what? Zambia. Okay, if we enter, we are now in Inonge's profile. So Inonge is able to now log in as an employee, and this is a dashboard. It shows she's in the marketing department, the position brand and communications officer, status active, date of hire, and the last pay. Because Inonge has just been employed today, she hasn't yet been paid. So there's no details indicated here on her last net pay. So this is the dashboard. Inonge is able to go to my profile on the left here, and she's able to change some of the details on her profile. So this profile basically would show her names and gender, date of birth, NRC, and such kind of information. But she's able to make edit to some of the information, basically the email address and the mobile number, because the other information is static. What else? She can check her payslip. There's none, because she just got employed, so she can't view any payslip. However, if we check the one for John, we'll be able to see. I'll take you to that particular part where we are able to check the payslip for John. Then there's a training that's indicated. There's no training allocated, no performance allocated. Contracts, there's no contract that's been provided yet. Employees are supposed to be given contracts. So the admin can generate a contract and the employee will access the particular contract at any time. So since that was done for John, let's log out as Inonge and log in as John. Okay, so John, we log in as John. John's password, here it is. So John, HR officer. So John, HR officer, human resources, active, hired, and this was John's last net pay. Just as it is for every employee, shows that you're logged in as John. For every employee, the menu items are the same. So profile, this is the profile for John. He can change details here when he goes to edit. Then there's the leave payslip when he goes to payslip. So these are the payslips, and John is able to view the payslip at any time and able to print the payslip at any time. So if he wants to get a loan, he just takes this to HR, and HR just double checks and puts a date stamp, and he has these payslips readily available. So an HR system should allow a user to be able to access information such as these ones. So when you look at different job descriptions, they'll say an employee must have experience on how to use a human resource information system. Some people do not have access, and I'm happy to share with you this particular tool for you to be able to practice, and then you can confidently tell a prospective employer that you do know how to use a human resource information system. So back to training. There's no training that's been assigned. It's the same things. But there's something else I want to show you. Let's talk about leave, okay? Leave. So John may want to apply for leave. This particular section will show if there's any leave pending. It will show the leave that has been approved, leave that has been rejected, and also the balances. There's annual leave, sick leave, so the days allocated to each type of leave is indicated. And in this case, John hasn't taken any of these leave days, which therefore means that the balances are going to be equal to the allocated amounts. And then John can apply. So let's say John wants to apply for paternal leave. Paternal leave is only 5 days, and it will indicate right here it's 5 days. The start date is going to be indicated. So the start date, let's say tomorrow, and then tomorrow is 5 days, okay? 5 days. So if it's 5 days, let's say tomorrow, then we'll start counting from there, tomorrow as 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's check 18. 18. Why is it saying here that selected days is 14? Why? Because weekends are not counted when you're looking at holidays. Weekends are not counted. So in this particular case, John would be advised by HR that since it's 5 days, he can select up to the 20th. Okay, and here he can say, I have a baby boy. Baby boy. Baby boy. All right. And he's going to submit that particular leave. When it's submitted, it will go into pending. And he's free. He may decide. He may be told, "Oh, the baby is not yours," and then he may decide to delete that. Or maybe he chose the wrong type of leave, and he may want to change that. This is a very interesting part of a human resource management system, because you need to keep track of leave days, and it is expected by law that the organization must sit down with an employee to manage leave. The organization must sit down, a supervisor or a person in charge must sit down with an employee to plan their leave. So let me log out and log back in as the admin for us to see what happens with the leave management. So when I come to leave management, you can see that I have John, and it's supposed to indicate the type of leave that John had applied for. The dates, okay, so from the 14th to the 20th. The reason, have a baby boy, this is pending. And I have an option to approve or reject as the admin. So in this particular case, we are happy when people have children. I'm going to approve John's leave. Approved. So it's now going to register here that John's leave has been approved. John's leave has been approved. There's none rejected. Oh, these were rejected just for demonstration purposes. Then I can check the leave balances. The system then allows a user to be able to narrow down on an employee. So let's, for example, narrow down on Inonge. How many leave days, annual leave days does Inonge have remaining? We'll filter this. She has 24 days. So meaning Inonge has not taken any leave days in the year. So this is part of what the information systems can do from an admin perspective. Would you like to know how to use the human resource information system? I developed this human resource system moving from version 1 to version 8, learning up through the stages. And if I open these folders, you see that there are all these programming files that I've been working on to be able to come up with a system like you can see. I've been working on all these different files to come up with what you actually see on the screen as this human resource information systems. I'm glad to take you through. If you're interested, get in touch with me. My name is Savoy. My number and email address is on the screen. Human resource, great area of practice, and given opportunities, a lot of people can do great things. Goodbye.